Awesome.
There we go.
Thank you. So again, I'm going to jump right on in. It is a fresh twist on your marketing. So Photoberry is a photographic entertainment and event marketing agency, and that's kind of like a strange play on words. You know, what is photographic entertainment, would you say? So I'll put it in simpler terms, and you will get an idea of what I'm talking about. And really, it's a product that I offer that can be used to assist you in your marketing efforts in today's social media platforms. So photographic entertainment is basically a fancy way of saying photo booths. So unlike cramming 6 friends into a white box at a mall back in the day and taking silly pictures, photo booths have moved along with technology and changes in the world. And now they're used in all types of business, for all types of brand awareness, capturing data for your business and your remarketing efforts, having them, your user, assist you actually in creating content to post, because that could be a hard thing sometimes when you're finding yourself on multiple platforms. I'm assuming you have at least one social media platform that you're using.
Yes.
Not any, correct? So we assist you with that. And brand awareness is a big thing when, if your business actually attends trade shows or community events or health fairs, you can actually take, well, let's go back and we'll talk about the topics a little bit, which I just said, how to engage your audience to find your business on your social media platforms and get involved to create that brand awareness and that user generated content and capture data for you. And then I'm going to open it up at the end for some questions and answers. So here you can see the booth in itself at a trade show, if that's what, or an exhibit that you go to. You can have a booth and you can have it there to do spins and wins. So it's not necessarily going to take a picture of you. It can, if that's obviously its main goal, but where you would typically have your table set up where you have a swag bag or a raffle ticket where they would input their user information so that you can remarket to them in the future and then you give them a gift, you can actually do a spin and win. So the screen they would touch and just interact with would be a spin and win. You as your business can set that up for everybody who engages, wins, and now you're giving away the koozie or the marketing bag or the swag bag. Or you can, if it's a well attended and you want to set it up for every 5, whatever your brand and what it is you're giving away, that's how you would use it. So they don't even think of it as a photo booth, more just now come to the world of interaction. You go to restaurants today and you can pay with your tap to phone, but you also see the photograph of the menu items. So that's like a downscale version of a photo booth. Except now it's just promoting the picture of the menu items per se. And there are surveys there, your customer, how was your experience at the restaurant? So you're entering your information talking about the experience in there. You're engaging the audience. So how does it create brand awareness? Photo booths come in various shapes and sizes. Again, they're those small little things that you see on your tables to big actual booths that are still being used. And you can see from this, just like a van or an automobile, that is, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. You can, just like you see the vans on the world today where they wrap the images of their products on the vans, you can actually wrap a photo. So your branding, this was actually a health fair, and this is a health brand where the back of the booth is actually branded for their logo and their design. If you do actually use a photo to be taken and you brand it, you can actually brand the photo overlay that comes back. For instance, a nonprofit organization in Easton, For All Seasons, actually has their annual holiday Frosty event where they reach out to the community. They have hired us. We actually branded the picture with the For All Seasons logo and represent the actual event, Frosty's Holiday Village, which is a promotion so that next year they know, hey, this is an annual thing. It was really fun. Now that user that engaged and took that picture, in order for them to actually get the photo back that they just took, they're going to enter their cell phone. So it comes to them if you use it as a photo in the form of a text message. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this. I'll try to get close to the camera, but here's my cell phone. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so it comes in the form of a text message, and at the bottom it actually says, do you want to save it to your cell phone or do you want to share it? So now I used this actually for myself because I was at last Sunday, and I downloaded it because I had just got done taking the picture with the florist. I was there representing the photo booth for individual purposes, but I had branded it for Ken Island Resort, which was where I was at, and it was APG Media's second annual event, so it was branded for them as well. But it was a way for me to engage with the florist. We took a picture, I saved it to my cell phone, and then I shared it on my social media. Hey, this event is going on, come on down. So that's user-generated content. So in the case of the Frosty for the nonprofit, it actually came back to them. It promotes the actual event, and now they can share it on the social media pages. And we all know how that works, where it's just me sharing it, but I may have 200 friends, and now my 200 friends see it. So that's how you get the user-generated content. When you actually engage them in using the booth, it is more likely that when they get on their platform, now they're going to go and try to find you, rather than just being at the exhibit where you would be, and then they go home and they forget all the different vendors that were there because you didn't interact or engage them in any way, shape, or form. They went around and picked up information. Now, I've got this cool picture. Hey, I shared it on my social media. I'm going to go find their business on their social media platform. What other cool stuff do they do that I need to be aware of? So it's just a way for the social sharing of the image to make their reach, your reach as well. So again, the user generated content and the data capture. So you can see, at the trade show where there was some mattress furniture on the back of the booth, they actually, take a picture, enter to win. Again, the raffle or the free giveaway, you could do it that way if you don't want to actually wrap it with your brand or your logo. For those in the hospitality or the retail end of a business, again, they come in various shapes and sizes. So if you don't have the space for such a standalone object, you can actually see here that they are just small, round little things that can be wall mounted for short periods of time, where again, you create a survey. How was your experience? How was the food that you just had? How was your evening at the Raw Brewery? Was it engaging? Did you like our staff? They may not take a picture. They may actually take the picture as these girls are engaging and sharing it on there. And you can see, by the pile of glasses that they have on this side, they were actually having a good time. But the small wall mounts are convenient, again, depending on what it is you're trying to capture or create. If you want a survey, if you want to offer them a discount to come back for another meal, 10%, that spin to win, that survey type stuff is actually what a photo booth branded for your facility can actually do. So it's an engaging, fun way to actually get them involved and then to go ahead and share it. So I know I went through that really quick. We did talk about trade shows. We talked about nonprofit organizations. your healthcare business, Tanya, do you actually do trade shows and exhibits to get the word?
Yes, we actually just participated in the Better Living Expo in Salisbury this weekend.
Oh, okay, great. So was it well attended? Were you giving items away?
We were, um, and we did have quite a few referrals from it already.
Great, great. So how did you capture the content um, of the people that attended your booth? Were you
Unfor-
asking?
Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that this time. I've only been
Okay,
with the company for 3 months, so I'm still building their marketing program. So we just did minor, like, leave your email address, your phone number if you want to. We did a gift card giveaway. So we
right.
had a couple people sign up for that, but it was not as prevalent as I had hoped.
Okay, so a boost in those particular instances would have captured, you can set them up to capture emails. If emails for future marketing is something you want to do, if you want to capture their cell phone and have the image come back to them, obviously it captures their cell phone. When you do the survey, that is all types of information, their name, their address, what they want to input there. So at the end of actually having a booth at an event or in an exhibit or even in the hospitality end of it, if you do a month-long promotion, I, Photoberry will actually send you in a nice little package. Every photo that is taken comes back to you. So now that photo is branded and now you have content. Really enjoyed seeing these customers at our recent expo or fair that we attended. Or go ahead.
No, and I guess the best thing about that is this content you didn't even really know that you had because they're doing it on their own.
Right, it's user
And now you get
generated.
it at the end, you get all these amazing pictures of people you didn't, if you're busy doing
Exactly.
it, you didn't even really know that they was there and they took.
And they, while they go through the compliance end of it, agreeing to the terms that, you have the right to use their photo on the social media pages, they're just having so much fun and they're interacting because it's so different. It's something new to them. Everybody else, you're just walking around trying to gather information and maybe having a conversation, but it was an experience. It's something that they're going to remember. And it does come back to you again in that form. So all pictures that are taken come back and they're branded, and now you can post that on your social media pages. All the data that's captured in whatever format you tell me you want it in comes back to you. And then there's also analytics. So you can see the reach that's made. So if Jane shares it on her social media page and her 200 friends, sort of like we were talking about earlier when that viral went 40,000, it would actually show how many people the share reached. So now your brand is actually out there and your effort in marketing and reaching and content generation has just gotten a lot easier by utilizing a product that you might not have even considered before. Because again, everybody gets that image of being crammed in a booth in a mall back in the day, if that's what you're familiar with. But you see them, and you don't even know that that is what photographic entertainment actually means. So it's just a way of capturing data, users, photos, and allowing you, the user or the person who's hiring the service for the photo booth, to create content and taking a lot off of you. Because if you had to think about all the different platforms and what kind of picture am I posting today, you get 50 pictures from a fair or a community event. Now you've got 50 days worth of content if you just posted one at a time. And again, it's just a brand and it's a reach, and they're all branded, it's there.
That's awesome.
So that's kind of basically the short version of it all. I don't know
I
if
didn't
anybody
realize
has.
that you could get like analytics and all that data and, yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's just something that I add on to the back end of it, obviously to make the marketing better.
Yeah, because I was about to ask, how am I, the consumer, able, I mean, the person who hired you, how am I able to, but they come to you and you just share it with us?
Correct. The
How about
booth
that?
in itself and the event that we create around it, you know, and we add all those little things. We wanted to take photos, so we have to do a branded thing. We want to wrap it so that, you know, the outside of the booth, because we are doing a fair, has brand awareness. That's a different little step that goes into it. We want to be able to get someone's cell phone. I don't necessarily need their email. I don't use MailChimp for email marketing. I more want to use my service where I do the SMS advertising. So you tell me what kind of analytics and that you want to capture, what kind of data you want to capture, and that's how we create the experience. And it's just again, it's just a twist that the user doesn't even know they're assisting. We were helping you, but it engages them to be part of your brand. They think you're cool. They in turn follow you and share and
Awesome.
It is though, yeah.
So I wish I had talked to you sooner now about the conference, because I need to mention, I mean, I don't know how expensive it is yet, I've got.
Well, that was a question I was going
That's
to
what I
get.
do too, so you-
Yeah, so like for the tabletop version, I can envision it fit from like on the tables at the conference. They could do their little survey, it's wrapped in an NCE logo and their website on there, of course. And then they could do the little survey, to give feedback right then. It could also be taking pictures.
right, and that's the thing I didn't mention, for the nonprofits, you know, you, instead of doing a text or in addition to doing a text, you see these ladies here all have prints in hand.
Yeah.
So you can physically have a printer there on spot that does a high quality image that prints out a photo. Again, that photo is all branded for whatever the event is.
How long has this been around?
5 years in Easton.
I love it.
But the industry in itself,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not the only one. You can Google and
Yeah.
they're everywhere. As we said earlier, every business has got competition in some shape or form.
It's just a matter of how you brand and market yourself and what you're offering relative to
Correct.
what sets you apart, makes you more
You need
unique.
like she's doing there.
So the ladies there, you see that actually was a woman's retreat, and that taking that physical picture gave them something to take home. If it's an annual gala that you might have, it's a great fundraiser. Thank you for your donors. You know, a takeaway for them. They go home and put it on the refrigerator, but they think of it every year. Oh, you know, I'm going to take our neighbors with us next year.
And you started this company.
I did. I actually.
No, I'm just saying, what do you envision? beyond the fact that-
It started out as a completely different concept in my mind. I had a series of events, occur, that made me start this business where I needed to create a different source and an additional source of income. And I envisioned this as a way of simply being a traditional aspect of a photo booth, where I was gonna do private events.
I'm
maybe-
sorry, Tiffany, but you got more than that. You really do.
But-
We need to have a conversation.
Well, that was exact, what happened was, that was my reason for getting in. And then when this started in 2019, I went to a industry conference that was all day long in early 2020. And I sat there and I listened to these people and I was like, man, I have this all wrong. I need to come at this from a completely different aspect of it. And that's what I did. Unfortunately, I got back in February of 2020 and we went into COVID. So, that was a great thing because it allowed me to take that knowledge that I had just learned and gave me all the time, because nobody was going anywhere or doing anything, to figure out how I can embrace this and make it more.
Yeah, we need to sit and have a conversation.
Okay, well, that sounds great. I don't know, Tanya, if there's anything there that strikes a hot button for you, but I appreciate your time.
I did have a question.
Yes.
Where we are a health organization, we like to try to educate people. Would there be a way to like set up like a trivia aspect or maybe like a little true false quiz that we could actually present like health information to them.
So, do you mean something where you would, how are you getting them to interact? Are we at an exhibit or a health fair?
Right. So like they come up and we have like 90% of all people over 55 wish to age in place. True or false? So like
Sure, yes,
it kind of gives them some of the facts
right.
and educates them about the process.
Right, and so that is sort of like where I said you can do surveys, how was your experience? So we just create whatever it is that you're trying, and it gets them to interact from there. Now, if it was something you wanted to do online, I'm not saying that's totally impossible, I envision maybe.
I've already done something like that for our website.
Okay, so I was envisioning a social post that says that question, but for them to answer and submit, maybe by scanning a QR code and having it come back to them. So you can actually gather their information virtually.
Okay.
It would take a little bit of more thought process, but it is possible because when COVID hit and we started to sort of get back, but we were still doing things virtually. I actually did a QR code that made a virtual booth. So Zoom meetings
Yeah.
turned into a party where you scan the code, it takes you to a virtual booth, and now they can do a silly thing showing your representative, and then it all comes back again to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's like in regards to when you do Zoom, you can have various types of backgrounds.
Correct,
So she's taken it a little step further.
Yeah.
correct,
And, made it more interactive,
right.
made it more lively, so to speak.
It's more engaging,
Yeah.
you get them immersed in that
Exactly.
experience, and something that they.
So,
We definitely need to have a conversation.
yeah, because I also was thinking like, along the lines of time, like if we're at an event, have something there and like having questions off, asking them about entrepreneurship, like where they are in the business, small business ownership process or whatever, and you can ask them different questions. And that's also how you get the contacts to reach out to for new clients.
Correct.
Whether it could be learning related or just basic questions, what they need help with to marketing assistance or whatever it is.
So it's
There's
all
lots of different
possible, and it
ideas.
works with any type of industry, it's just a matter of brainstorming what you've already used, how it can be incorporated, and what would be a different way of approach. So it might take us a little time to put it all together, but it's still there to be
Yeah,
done.
you
Like, it
still-
can't be done in 2 days, hey, my event's in 2 days, but if you said, hey, my event's in 2 months, or, hey, I do this every year and it just went by, let's put some time into it. The more time we have to create it and build it, the cooler it's gonna be. The more immersive.
Yeah, and then also like having it there at your event and doing your actual survey there. I think that's cool too. So what is that, like, I know the price depends on how involved you get, I'm sure.
Right, and, I mean, everything is different, how long do we have to create it, how much time are we actually putting into it? Are you branding, wrapping, obviously, outside hire, somebody comes in and wraps it around your brand, so that's got a cost to it. The analytics and all that has a cost to it. It goes by hour, so if it's a weekend retreat and it's 8 hours each day, then it's 16 hours of visibility. All of that works on the price. I've done events for 500, I've done events for 5,000. It depends on where you are, what it is you want.
So,
Hi.
so, with startup businesses, small business, most of them come in, they have limited budgets. So if they were looking to utilize your service, hey, I know you said that your pricing, can go from one level to the other. But if they came in and say, hey, I only have $500.
Mhm.
This is what I'm envisioning, okay? Would you then be able to, okay,
Approve that or say, okay, well, if this is what you're envisioning, it might be a little bit more, but if that doesn't work for your budget, then let's try this instead. I
Yes.
might be able to take something away
Yeah.
and still reach the same end goal.
Right.
You know, so I work with you, obviously, you tell, if you have a budget, then that's where we need to stay, then how much can we incorporate and where can we use it? What's gonna be the most beneficial for you? You know, obviously, a 3-day event may not be in your budget, but a 1-day, 2-hour, you know, exposure somewhere in the community, may be more beneficial and get you the same end goal that you're looking
And how many people do you have working with you?
for. It's just me at this
You're doing
Oh,
this?
we gonna,
I do
Yeah, I
part.
we got enough of people around here that's ready to help you with your,
That's why.
that's whole thing. As you as well, Tommy, make sure you set an appointment.
I did have people around the 2020 thing, but again, my whole concept was different. I knew where I was changing to take this. So the individual events, I had people helping me there. But when it comes to the branding and the marketing, I really like to be involved in it. And I want to take it and make it my personal venture. and Make it stand out.
That's great.
Right now, it's just me, but I have a vision. And I will take them slow.
Oh, well, I mean, most things, especially in small business owners, is organic. But yet in the same token, I mean, you, despite the fact that there's competition out there, you still have a unique situation.
Yeah,
I mean, and it's just expanding upon
Right.
yeah.
it, you know?
I wanted to take it to the business end of it. Everybody, all the other ones out there are event oriented, individual, let's say individual event oriented.
Like more personal,
Correct.
not really business
Correct.
as much as you.
So
Are you
that's
based
my
at,
little twist.
are you based in the area?
I'm based out of Easton, Maryland.
Easton, okay.
And I like to stay on the shore side if I can.
Don't we all?
That Bay Bridge can seem a little intimidating at times.
Have you hooked up with the Salisbury Chamber of Commerce yet?
I've actually been, my prior line of work was a 35-year career. So I met Lisa back in those days. I went to the MC conference in the past. I know how fun and exciting it can be. Unfortunately, I couldn't make this year's.
No, I was talking about the Chamber of Commerce
Yeah,
here in Salisbury.
right now, I'm a member of the Talbot Chamber and the Caroline Chamber, and I'm gonna start venturing my way around, adding a chamber or two, you know, every year, and another 2 around in my little circle radius that I wanna reach.
Because
So,
I know a lot of
it's
people
all
from,
here now, so.
Have you migrated at all? I know you have I'm sorry not to, I know.
that's
you
okay.
Have a trepidation of the Bay Bridge, but have you done any business on the Western Shore?
No, but I do have a lady friend who has a, similar business, and our products are the same. And I'm kind of mentoring her to switch from the individual side. I did have a hire across the bridge. It didn't work for my date. I was actually traveling, but I got her to actually take her equipment and I showed her how to do it. And now she's thinking on the same lines as I was, hey, this is cool. I'm not out
Yeah.
at night. I'm more during the day for business events rather than a Friday, Saturday
Right.
evening type thing. Because she was a single.
Look, I've lived in New York for a very long time, and I mean, you could partner with small ad agencies,
Mhm.
and they love you.
Right. And event planners,
But ad agencies more so
ad agencies.
because they do events along with the whole still commercial live stream, all that,
Right.
and it would catapult you in such a way. I mean, yeah, I understand small business, organic growth, But in the same token, it would take you to the next level like we would not.
which is where I wanna go, even though I was gonna go small, you're saying I can shoot to the moon real quick,
I mean, I'm not saying we're cool, but if you get, even if you just get one or two,
right?
it will take you to,
Oh, absolutely.
you
Yeah, if
know.
I just did one, if I connected with one of those ad agencies,
Yeah,
and it
because
was,
I can guarantee you, one or several of their clients, they would introduce it to, and it would work.
and it would just.
It would just, it literally would just.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah,
because
so
we're
I mentioned-
always thinking,
You can.
adding, are always thinking of how do we one up or best the other firm that we're competing
Right,
with, you know, and this is something that would definitely work in that capacity.
Right.
You know,
and then again, the experience in itself, for the holidays was really cool. I pitched it around here, it really did not take off. But I had a friend who was in Pennsylvania, which is where I originally moved from back in '99. And she introduced me to somebody in a retail end of it, and what we did during the holidays was the mall that they were in, we did an interactive snow globe, where it was an inflatable globe, and they went inside of it, and they took the pictures, and snow was flying around, and
Cool.
Santa was in there.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I
it was
mean,
a
you
cool
go partner
concept.
with the local TV stations, VOC and MDT. I mean, I know the guy who runs Bob Scouts. I mean, and they're gonna be I'm gonna tell you, no matter what happens in the retail world, Bob Scouts is one of the department store chains is gonna be around for, because they are understanding what changes has to be made for them to advance.
So their holiday promotion
Yes,
is a great way,
exactly.
you know, for that 30 days, you do that crazy snow globe concept, and they interact, and instead of, you know, having your kids stand in line, you have a picture with Santa. Now it's the whole side of the mall where it's engaging and it's fun, and people are just, maybe they're not actually utilizing it, they're just standing there in awe. Wow, that's pretty cool.
100%.
Yeah. So, and do you offer discounts for nonprofits?
I offer discounts in the fact that, I know how a nonprofit obviously works. So you're looking, for, like, when you do your events, you're obviously already familiar with finding businesses to sponsor that event. So offer this as another way of sponsorship. So as you saw on the For All Seasons,
Mhm.
you can't really see it here, but that's Willow Construction
Okay.
logo. They actually brought them in to sponsor, and then every photo that went off had Willow Construction on there as well. So it's another sponsoring opportunity way for you. So, you know, we cover the cost of the actual booth and the experience, but now let's say you grab 4 sponsorships. Now you're making money, obviously the nonprofit's making money, and then we throw in their logos up in this corner and that corner. It's a branding experience. For repeat businesses, I do offer a repeat discount
Yes, thank you.
for multiple days. So, you know, a 1-day event might be X amount, but if it was a 3-day event, it would work out to be less expensive per day than just that 1-day time.
Right.
So that's kind of how I look at the discounts.
So do you work on a rental basis of the equipment? Is that how your price structure works?
If it's a daily thing, or, when I showed you for the consumer here with these wall mount type things, I refer to them as permanent installs. They're not really permanent. It might be a 1 week type thing, or a 1 month, or 30 months. It's more like a lease. So yes,
Okay.
you can, if you find that this is a great thing and you want it there 24/7, 360, then if you wanted to do an outright purchase of the product, I would still come in and maintain it for the analytics and change the concepts, that type of thing, but that's also another way of utilizing
See,
it.
one of the
So
things
it's a
you-
permanent install.
One of the things, if you haven't already, that you have to do, based on you wanting to commercial business wise,
Mhm.
is look at, what, of course, obviously what they do, but then having your services offering a broader reach than what you're doing. And as well as in regards to the data collection that you're doing, analytics wise, that you're capturing information that they're gonna need in South. Because eventually, this is gonna take your technology and how you produce it, create it and produce it to the next level. And then eventually, cause see what my mindset is, cause I work with my as well, is how do we get you to the level that somebody receives the value of what you got?
Right.
And or expand upon to make it great.
Correct.
That's literally.
Because I put it in a nice little package, you know, if you're holding an event, you need a person to come out who maybe is going to do the decorating or the entertainment, and then you're gonna hire a photographer, and then you're gonna hire, you know, who you're hiring all these different
Right.
people, if it's in a nice tiny little package, plus you get all the data and the analytics. That's a
better.
whole,
Exactly.
That's
that's a whole other
Yeah.
aspect that's
Well,
coming to the table, and it's
Right.
making it worth your while as the business
Mhm.
to bring it on. Sure.
Yeah.
And you show it from her business perspective in the number of realms categorically of business.
Mhm.
You know, and saying that this is how we operate it, this is how we generate it, this is how we produce it, this is everything. This is how we capture.
I
it.
haven't found a business yet that hasn't been able to utilize it in some shape or form.
Yeah.
And you were just talking earlier before we started about the businesses that always stick around, your daycares to your funeral directors.
Right,
Even had a funeral home utilize the service as a celebration of life.
yeah, that's the whole premise.
Oh.
And you
That's
were
nice.
able to see pictures, and then the attendees were actually able to, because you can do videos, they're short
Yeah.
concept videos.
Oh, God.
So, you know, if your platform isn't Facebook, where it's just a still picture, and now we want to do TikTok, those short little videos, it can be used for that as well.
Oh, wow.
So it moves and it adjusts. And I can tell you from last week's business conference, AI is gonna make the holidays a lot of fun this year. On a personal aspect and a business aspect, we're gonna be able to, you know, turn you into a Santa's helper. You know, and it's gonna be a real immersive experience. And I'm sure it's gonna bring a lot more, but I was intrigued by what it's bringing.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm with him. Let me get her first and then you. You gotta go to my-
she have any other
Thank
questions?
you. Do you have any other questions,
No,
Tanya?
not that I can think of at the moment.
I
Okay,
think it
so
will work
my
perfect for
contact, like Lisa, I don't know if they send it out, but the slides and itself that you see.
I took a screenshot.
Okay, so there's my contact information. Look for this logo, the black logo, when you are looking for any Instagram or Facebook page.
Okay.
There is generate photo is a play on words, so it's not FOTO or PHOTO, it's FOTO. So
I'm telling
something,
you, you could, you
yeah.
got something really great.
So thank you. I appreciate the
Thank
time.
Thank you.
I wish everybody that registered would have been here, because they're missing out, they really
Well,
are.
we recorded it for you,
That's
so
right, we
there's
did,
gonna
and
be
we'll,
excited.
and hopefully we can offer it again,
Almost definitely.
even if we just do it Zoom, and then you don't have to travel here.
That's fine as well.
We're trying to
And
get more people out, you know, it's hard after COVID, they've just
It
gotten,
really is.
used to the
lazy.
island.
I just wanna be on Zoom.
Well, maybe next time we offer one and I bring in a piece of equipment and we can all
Yeah.
Oh, that would be neat.
touch it and use it and see the
Make it
experience. Yeah, make it an interactive.
And, you know, I try that more, so then they'll know they get to actually play with it, but yeah, it sounds like it would be perfect for you guys, for the health fairs.
Yes,
especially getting the data, collecting the data.
Miss Tanya, I did just send the link.
I
sent it.
did see it come through,
Right.
yes.
Go ahead and click that before we sign off.
Right,
Learn
doing
more
it
about
right
this.
now.
And it would be
Do
great.
you have any questions for me about MCE or
No,
Randy?
Don't wanna be.
no, I'm familiar with MCE,
Okay.
and I really hope I can get to the conference this year.
I hope so too. Bernard that was talking a lot, he's also with MCE, he's
Okay,
an officer and consultant.
all right. Well, thank you for the information today. It was wonderful.
Thank you for joining us. We do send a recording, and so you will get the slides as well,
Okay,
in case you want to
Good
share it with your
afternoon.
boss or anybody.
yeah, okay.
All right, thank you.
care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. That was awesome.
Thank you.
And look, she said she was worried about speaking.
Oh, you got it. Yeah.
She's just a natural up here.
I just know the ums and ahs, like, you know, with the Toastmaster people, so don't do that. I do it.
Wow, I do it
That's
too.
my normal speaking, so I guess that's why I can never get away. I'm always trying to think of how to.
Oh, we
talk.
have Priscilla was on here. I didn't know Priscilla was on here.
Oh,
I couldn't see her, so that's why I didn't
She's
realize.
still on there. I said, hey.
Hi,
Miss Priscilla.
Priscilla.
is she still there?
She said.
You can unmute yourself if you want. Sorry, I was muted. I didn't see her picture, that's why I didn't know. Let me see.
This is one.
I'll put my stuff in the chat later.
I'm so glad.
Okay, well, maybe she's stepped away.
He's on a tight schedule.